Hello my pretties, Nyxarity here, and I realized that my last video, when I talked about my Halloween October video list, movie list, whatever you want to call it, I ranted a lot about Sharknado. And it got me thinking, you know, about horror movies. I know. Everybody talks about this. Everybody's got their own idea about perfect horror movies. Blah, 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 blah. You're here to hear my take. Or at least, if you didn't read the title, you're here for some other reason. Maybe it's my gorgeous face. Probably not. But anyway, my take on a good horror movie. We'll put it at that. I don't want to say the best horror movie, because everybody's afraid of slightly different things. Except everybody's afraid of clowns. Y'all lying if you're not. Clowns are creepy as fuck. Okay, well maybe we're not afraid of them, but we can all agree clowns are creepy as fuck. Okay? Alright. So, what I think goes into being a good horror movie is, first off, all of the movies that are out rely very heavily on jump scares. Yes, that works, but you don't want to rely on that. You want enough suspense at the horror of what is going on that when a jump scare happens, the people that were expecting it are still terrified. That's the point, right? Okay, so I'm one of those people that doesn't necessarily jump scare easily unless for some odd reason I'm with other people. Doesn't make sense, right? With other people you should feel like herd mentality, you're safer, right? No. People around me get scared, and I react accordingly, which is usually to jump and then hide. Okay? So, if y'all were wondering why I haven't really done horror games, that's pretty much why. If I sit here and I do it alone, I'm just gonna stare at a screen blankly, and nobody wants to see that. And if you do, why? I'm boring. If I jumped at everything that moved, maybe it would be entertaining. Because that's why we all watch people play horror games, right? Is because we like to watch them be afraid. I'm not. Alright. Anyway, we're talking about horror movies here. So, don't rely heavily on jump scares. Have just enough of them, and put it in just the right way, that it still scares the people that aren't usually afraid. So what does that mean? Basically, you have to make it real and relatable enough that for at least a half a second, people almost forget that they're watching a fake thing. I'm going to give you an example of a time where I momentarily forgot this, okay? So, y'all are going to groan, but Paranormal Activity. Very first one, before it got really repetitive. It felt very true story. This actually happened. We actually recovered footage from some dead people that were killed by some entity. Okay? And part of that was that it was filmed in high enough quality that it didn't look like an amateur job, but just poorly enough that it did look like, you know, your average person with a correct set of camera skills that was trying to record something properly would do. So almost like B-movie quality, but like B+ movie. You get me? Okay. So the other thing was that, you know, if you see this in the theater and you want to be scared, you sit in the front row, right? I'm that person that doesn't jump easily, so I'm in that front row of that movie theater. Alright? And I'm with a friend because you don't go see horror movies alone. And if you do, what is going on with you? You're weird. Call me, we'll go to a movie sometime. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, So, I'm sitting in the front of the theater, and for whatever reason, I'm just deep enough into this movie, okay? That they've got some sort of, like, demonic entity that they flash. That's, like, coming out of a closet or a bathroom or something. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Kind of near the end. But, you know, it's just enough of a flash that your brain automatically kicks into, was that real? Did that actually happen? Was that part of the movie? Was that planned? Is this movie haunted? And my brain just got going and it didn't stop. So when stuff started happening after that, I was really into this, and it felt like an actual horror movie rather than just a jump scare here or, oh god, an axe murder, because we haven't seen that 1,000,002 times. Okay, so other things that go into making a good, actually scary movie. Because we know that it's a movie and it's not really a thing and the teenagers are all stupid. By the way, if you stop making the teenagers fucking stupid, maybe you would relate more. If smarter people are in danger, we worry more. Thus, scarier movie. You'd think that'd be a no-brainer. Unfortunately, when you're making a horror movie, because everything's already been done, it's hard to get actors for a good thing. It's hard to get a good director for a good horror movie. But, anyway, the things that really go into a good horror movie plot is it has to be just outside what is believable, so that we kind of, in order to get into the movie, period, it has to be just enough removed from reality that our brains want to do that click into, I'm not watching a movie, let's experience this. So, like, back when Jaws was first a thing, that was one of the scariest things ever, because it was just real enough that was not quite real, so it was just that click into our imagination that gets you engaged. Okay? That it was this thing that it was like, it could happen, but it's probably not going to. And then it was just that almost like, I don't even know how to describe it, really. It's just that thing that's just taps into your imagination enough that you feel immersed and those things are terrifying. Now, of course, as technology has progressed and frames per second get better and better with movies, they're easier and easier for our brains to tap into the kind of viewer's experience that we talk about wanting. You almost want to feel like you're in the movie with the characters. And with higher quality, you know, special effects, with higher frames per second, your brain is easier engaged into that mode. So, of course, as time has progressed, Jaws is obviously not real. That shark is hella fake. Obviously. You know, and I'm sure even back then, knowing the technology, people still, you know, came out of that movie and were like, oh, that shark was so fake. But it was still one of the scariest movies of the time. So, what we need to do is we need to get Steven Spielberg up in this joint and just have him do horror movies. Yeah? But, I mean, really. We just need to be engaged enough that it engages our imagination and takes us to that point where it almost could happen. Given the right circumstances. There could be a demonic possession. You know? Given the right circumstances, this aneurysm pops in this guy's brain and he goes and kills all his friends. I don't know what I'm talking about. But, I have been seeing some previews for, I think it's just called Ouija, or Ouija board. You know, it's a movie about a Ouija board. From the previews, what I can tell, Ouija board is activated and this young girl gets possessed by something. I don't know. But it's one of those things where I'd be willing to bet if I went and saw it, my brain would be just engaged enough to kind of almost believe that it could happen. Therefore, that movie could potentially actually scare me. Given the right mood that's set, the right music is used, the actors aren't stupid, they actually can do their jobs, and the storyline is good. So, that's what makes a good horror movie for me. But I also took lots and lots of classes in college because I wanted to be an art major. Ooh, shocking. But I took a lot of classes that kind of have gotten my brain into a very analytical sense. So, of course, I'm a lot less likely to be terrified or scared of anything whatsoever in a movie. Now, however, if you start thinking about if I were put into these situations, I was one of those teenagers in the woods, A, I wouldn't screw every guy in sight. That's stupid. B, you don't split up. Yeah. And, I don't even know what else I could say that I wouldn't do. I wouldn't leave the weapon sitting next to the front unlocked door. Take the time to lock the damn door and grab the axe. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So, I'm of course one of those people that is harder to scare, but I still enjoy these movies. You know, that's the real point, is to have a real good horror movie. Whether it scares the audience or not, it has to be enjoyable. And for that to happen, it just kind of needs to be relatable. So, the best thing that a good horror movie can do is keep up with the times. Keep up with what kids are scared of these days. What's in a horror game that makes people pop out? You know, they're terrified. You know, honestly, a Five Nights at Freddy's movie has potential. But only if done probably within the next 5 years. Anything after that, it's probably not going to be relatable enough. You know? But anyway, that's just my take on it. Yes. I really want to go look up now, like, some sort of, like, quiz. This is how long I'm gonna last in a horror movie. Let's go do that. Alright, so I'm here at Buzzfeed, and I'm taking this quiz. That's how long you would survive in a horror movie. Because why not? First question here is, what was your favorite subject in school? Not really sure what this has to pertain to anything, but we have a choice of art, English, math. Hated school, I was probably sleeping class. I can't talk. It's the lipstick. It's totally the lipstick. Anyway, psychology or sociology. I wish those were available in high school because this is what I'm taking this as. Thinking about high school. Because you can take whatever the fuck you want in college. I mostly liked all of my classes. Does recess count? How about lunch? I didn't really like lunch either. You know, if psychology or sociology was actually available in high school, I would have enjoyed the experience a lot more. But I'm gonna stick with art or English. It's dodgeball day in gym. What? How long has it been since dodgeball was actually allowed in schools? Because I'm pretty sure it was banned in, I think, most of at least Washington State when I was in, like, kindergarten. Anyway, when do I get picked? You see, I had a mean hook when I was in elementary school. If we were playing, like, kickball, they wanted me to catch the ball, and they wanted me to kick the ball. I have not played kickball in a really long time, and now I'm reminiscing. So we have the second or third, maybe I'm okay. You know, we've got the first because the captain has a crush on me. That wasn't a thing for me. It was just, I was the only girl good at anything. But I mean, I was still picked after most of the boys. I'm probably last, which is annoying because I'm good. Like I even went to gym class. Oh, stop it. I'm not playing. I forged a doctor's note. Hello, I'm one of the captains. Actually, yeah, that was most accurate for me, weirdly enough. Now I'm going with, like, pre-middle school, because that's when my life turned into, you're a girl. Go sit in the corner. We're gonna ignore that. Where were you at a party? See, I didn't go to parties until I was in college. I can't stick with an age group for this quiz. Where was I at the parties? Oh, was I hanging at a party doing a shot? No, I didn't really do shots in college. Getting my drink on, getting my flirt on. Yeah, no, I ended up being a bartender at a couple of parties. That was actually very entertaining. The drunker people get, the more entertaining their drink choices are. Back porch getting faded. No, that was not me. Everywhere I threw this party. I didn't really throw the parties, but that was probably most accurately me. Let's see the rest of the options. I probably wasn't invited. No, definitely not that one. I was a theater kid in college. I was invited to every party. Except the Greek row parties. But I lived on Greek row, so that didn't really matter. 0. No, I was single and happy in college, thank you very much. Still single and happy. Yeah, that's probably closest here. Choose a murder weapon. Knife, axe, garage door. You based this off of Scream, didn't you? Which I saw, by the way, when I was like 9 for the first time. That could have something to do with why I'm not very affected by horror movies. A gun, poison, or the car. Oh, that's reminiscent to like my first car a little bit. Just I drove a van, by the way, when I was learning to drive. Not a good car to learn to drive. Oh gosh. You know, logic dictates I'd want the gun. But assuming that the murderer would most likely have some sort of like knife or axe or type of that thing. Oh. You know, I'm gonna go with the car. Can do the most amount of damage to the most amount of things. What song would you choose to play at the end of your movie? Probably none of these. Survivor by Destiny's Child, Titanium, David Guetta, Hello from Mariah Carey, Skyscraper by Demi Lovato. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. The show must go on. Kelly Clarkson. Oh yeah. Doesn't kill you, makes you strong. Oh yeah, that would, if I survived to the end of the horror movie, I would literally be walking away singing that. Actually, I'd probably walk away singing that from anything that I overcame in a horror movie. Which would probably get me killed now that I think about it. My logic. I'm a Disney princess, apparently. How many sequels would your franchise have? God, I would hope none. Can I just survive the thing and just be done? Just 2, the perfect trilogy. Like 10 with varying degrees of quality. Oh dear. No sequels, but a remake 20 years later. That's probably the most valid option here. 2 good sequels and a terrible 3rd movie that kills the franchise. No sequel. My movie bombed. Countless sequels, spin-offs, remakes. Sequels to the remakes. You know what? No sequels, but remakes, because I imagine my horror movie would be much like Carrie. Be a strong, independent woman that got pissed to high hell and summoned hell. Yeah. Be honest, how long do you think you'd live in a horror movie? Dependent on the villain. We'll see. Totally live. No, every horror movie trope. But that could backfire on you. Because this is real life, not a horror movie. I live, I can be ruthless if I need to be. I can be ruthless if I don't need to be. Whatever, man, it's impossible to say. Honestly, I don't know. I might live. I hope I live. I would straight up die. I like that that's an option. I'm not sure if I die. I hope it's a spectacular... If I die, I hope it's a spectacular death. You know, honestly, Yes. I'm the first to die. And what an honor! Of course! Oh. The first death of a horror movie is always the most memorable and the most exciting. It sets the tone for the entire movie and sometimes the entire franchise. We thank you for your sacrifice. Well, that honestly... Yeah, I mean, if the villain of whatever movie I was in was smart enough to realize that I'd be the one to outsmart it in the end, it would be smart to kill me off first. So I will take this as a compliment. The first person to die if there's a group is either the stupidest or the smartest, depending on what level of horror movie it is. Those bad B movies, it's the stupid person. The better movies, it's the smarter person. Or the person that just gets caught off guard with their pants down. Quite literally in some movies. Alright guys, well this video's gone on long enough, Lord knows. Anyway, that's my general take on the things that would make a good horror movie. Kind of in a spoofy way, because I mean honestly, for everybody it's kind of a little bit different. Some people like those horrible things that are called horror movies. And other people like things that actually make them shit their pants. I'm one of those people that likes things that make me shit my pants. But it doesn't happen very often. High standards, what can I tell you? Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching if you've made it this far to this end of this video. I'm gonna go ahead and post a link to this Buzzfeed quiz. Let me know how long you guys survived. If you stayed this long to the video, I hope you weren't the first to die in the horror movie. But thanks again so much, guys. Go ahead and leave a like if you liked this video. Stay tuned for more videos coming every day this month for Vidtober. But thanks again, guys. Go ahead and subscribe for more great content. This is Nyxarity signing off, and I'll see you lovelies next time. Bye-bye. Number one favorite. You haven't guessed this already. Okay? I have been watching that movie every year around the time of Halloween. It's so long, I don't even remember how long ago I started. Probably